Yo, it's Crazy Curt Comics, and I am back again doing what I love to do, which is messing around with comics and just chilling in my basement with this room behind me that I just love so much. It's like a love affair I have with it. I think my wife is a little bit jealous. No, my wife's a lot jealous, actually. But it's Crazy Curt. I'm back talking about comics, and man, do I got a story to tell you. The story itself is not like, oh my god, that's an amazing story. But I had a dilemma and I wasn't sure what to do, and I turned to Facebook for help, and boy, that was a mistake. So, but what would you do in this situation? We're going to go over that. Don't know who I am? I'm Curtis, Crazy Curt Comics, Philadelphia born, live in Utah, got a comic book room. I talk comics. I took a 20-year absence from the hobby, and I'm back again. So I'm a newbie because I missed so much. But I'm also an old collector because I collected a bunch of stuff back in the late 80s and early 90s. So I'm a little bit of both kind of collectors. I don't know if there is really a kind of collector. Everybody collects what they want to collect, and that's what they should do. Buy what you like is what I like to say. I said it before, buy what you like, and you'll always be happy no matter what. But let's get into the show. I am excited because I want to tell you about the story. Oh my god, I want to tell you about the story. And what would you do? I really need people to comment. I always ask, no one ever does. Comment, please. Tell me what you would do. I really want to know. In a similar situation, what would you have done? I know you're dying, right? You're dying to hear about the story. So if you don't know, I go to a lot of thrift stores here in Utah. There's tons of thrift stores here in Utah. I said it before, that Mormons like to get at it, if you know what I mean. So there are lots of kids, lots of hand-me-downs, lots of stuff people got to get rid of. If you have kids, you know you got tons of stuff in your garage or in your basement or in your attic, and you're always constantly getting rid of stuff. Well, thrift stores are a great place for that. People will be rebuy. There's so many resellers out there with the age of the internet and YouTube and things like that. There are a gazillion channels of people going out, buying stuff and reselling it on eBay and Marketplace and things like that. I'm one of those people. That's what I do. I buy comic book related stuff, pop culture related items, and I sell it, and that's how I get money for my comic books. So I'm in this place called the DI. Now the DI here in Utah is a church-run thrift store, much like Goodwill. So I go in there and they have a little collectible area. So there's usually someone that mans the counter in that area. You have to unlock the case, and he'll bring the item out, or she'll bring the item out. You look at it and you decide whether you want it. They write up a ticket for you. You pay for it up front. You bring it back, and they give you your item. Usually it's designer purses, designer shoes, Air Jordans, retro video games, camera equipment, jewelry, things like that. Or anything they think that people would want that are worth more money, or things they think people might steal, they put them in there so they can't grab them. So every now and then there are comics there. People. If you would have saw the state of the comics and how they kept them, you would have just shook your head and you would have been so mad. They don't even, look, they don't want to spend any money because they get the stuff for free, so why spend any money at all if people are just going to rebuy them anyway, right? They don't even have bags and boards on them, people. If someone donated a stack of comics and they didn't come with bags and boards, they don't put bags and boards on them. They stick an oversized plastic cellophane bag around the comics. And they're grouped together like 5 comics at a time or whatever, however they were donated, and that's how they sell them. Ugh. They had some old Peter Parker Spider-Mans from the 70s or from the early 80s. They had a whole bunch of stuff, and they were just in poor condition, and they were in worse condition the way they were kept in the bags. But there was Captain Marvel 14. Now, if you don't know Captain Marvel 14, this is from, I want to say it's volume 5, maybe volume 4, maybe volume 3. It's a key issue. It's the first appearance of Kamala Khan. Not the first appearance of Ms. Marvel. This is just her. So they had it for $75. So I'm like, wow, $75. So I looked it up, right? Now here's where the crazy part happens. If you go look up this book, I went on 4 different places. I went on Key Collector. I went on Go Collect. I went on comicbookrealm.com. And I went on eBay. Obviously, eBay sold listings. I want to see what people are selling it for, and I want to see what it's sold for. Well, first of all, Comic Book Realm, which is the website I use. I actually like them a lot. I think they're grounded in their prices. They don't get too crazy. They give you the best range of prices because they show you on their website when you go and pick out an issue, it shows you every single price point for every single grade, from a 0.5 to a 10.0. They show you where the price would be for each one of those. Now, whether you agree with those prices or not, that's up for you. That's for you to debate and decide. So, the general prices they put everything at are, if your book's in good condition, it's like a 9.4, and that's their whole price guide's based on that when you go to it. If you want to see what it's like in a 9.0, just look at the guides when they present it on the website. It's basically based off of 9.4. So theirs was $260 for this, right? eBay sold listings were all over the place. They were mostly auctions, so the auctions are much lower than what they would sell for if they were to buy it now. There were some buy it nows, and they went for about $130. There's one that went for $200. You know, so there were some auctions that went for $90. So yeah, you have to just guess. Go collect. You know, I don't pay for the website, so I don't pay the subscription. I mean, for the website. So they only gave you some of the grades. They gave you like a 9.0, which was $70, but a 9.6 was $175. So what was a 9.8? What was a 10.0? So, yeah, they were all over the place. But they were all more than $75. So I took a look at the comic. I asked them to take it out of the bag and look at it. And there were two minor ticks. There were two minor ticks. I do not believe they were color breaking. I looked as best as I could. There wasn't any smudges on the front, nothing on the back. Pages appear all intact. It was a crisp book. Maybe one lower left-hand corner had maybe a little bit of blunting where it looks like it wasn't as crisp on the 90-degree corner. But other than that, it was a fairly decent book. But $75, and 2 ticks. I would have to get it pressed if I want to. It's if I want to keep it. I would still get it pressed. If I wanted to just try to resell it, which, hey, and that was one of the arguments, and I'll get into this in a little bit. I made the mistake of asking Facebook for help because, I'm deciding. I'm like, all right, they put it back in the case. I'm thinking about it, deciding. So I said, I know what I'll do. In my infinite wisdom, right? I go on Facebook. I have, on Facebook, I'm part of a big comic book group called the Comic Book Group, and it's like 40,000 people in that group. So there's always people arguing, debating stuff. I said, why not ask these people? They'll know lots of stuff about the comic book. I do a real quick post. Hey, here's the book. It's $75. There's these 2 ticks. What do you think? Yay or nay? Just wanted some feedback to help me, work through the problem in my head and whether I wanted to get it or not. Oh my God! Immediately, all the comments negative. Nah, why are you buying that for? One comment said, Captain Marvel's a poor investment. I'm sitting on a stack of Captain Marvel books. They're not going anywhere. Almost everybody was negative. Why would you buy that? This is a down market. This is, that's not a great book. I would, hell no, not with 2 ticks on it. I would never buy anything with ticks. That's a bunch of bullshit. If no one ever bought anything with ticks, pressers wouldn't be in business. So it didn't really help me at all. I was kind of annoyed more than it helped. So I hemmed and hawed about it for a while, and then I noticed the manager was standing over in that area, so I went up and talked to him, explained that the book was a little bent. I'm a collector, and I can't really resell this, or I can't, it has 2 ticks on it, and have to pay to get it pressed. That would take away from the price of the book. Yada yada yada. So he lowered the price. I asked him to lower it to $50. He lowered it to $60. So now we're at $60 for a Captain Marvel 214. So thought about it. So do I really want to spend $60 for a book? Now, I don't collect. Now, here's the thing. I don't collect Captain Marvel. Unless something big's going on in the series. I like the character. I don't collect a lot of her books because I just don't. It's just not one of the characters I'm really keen on. But it's nice to have cool books. If the book is a big key, it's nice to have big keys. It's nice to have, show off something that you have. That's pretty cool that a lot of people seem to like. So you don't always have to like a comic book. You can like just the artwork on the comic book, not even like the story. You can collect the comic book. Like I said earlier in the beginning, collect what you like, collect how you like, buy what you like. So, but I thought it'd just be cool to have a book like that, put it up on the wall, take down one of the lesser ones, put that up on the wall. It'd be a great little, thing. Especially since we know what happened in Amazing Spider-Man 26 recently. Because she's going to come back. So I'm thinking like that, So I thought about all these things. And then I thought, we're in a down market. We're in a down market off of a correction. Think about that. The market corrected, and then we're in a down market from that. So where could the book go eventually? Are we at the bottom? Are we near the bottom? There's still got more to go in the bottom. So, man, I just couldn't bring myself to. I could not bring myself to make a decision. And then I was thinking, walking away, I'm like, I'm gonna walk away from this book. What would you do? Now you're at where I am in that situation. Are you buying the book or are you not buying the book? It's $60. You get it pressed, get the 2 ticks out, and you have a nice clean book if you want to resell. But I don't think you should always buy comic books just to resell them. I think reselling is part of the hobby, and sometimes you need to resell books to pay for themselves. But I know people spec on books all the time, but I don't always buy a book just for speculation purposes. I like to buy a book because I want the book to show off on my wall or look at it, or because I like the character. So what would you do? Leave me a comment. I'm begging you, please leave me a comment. Tell me what you would do in this exact situation. $60, 2 ticks, Captain Marvel, first appearance of Kamala Khan. I don't know. Would you do it? Would you not do it? Bite the bullet? I just couldn't, man. So I kept thinking about it, and I just couldn't walk away without buying that baby, because here it is, baby. Put it in a new bag and board, man. This thing looks crispy and clean. I'm sorry for the glare, but here we go. We got Captain Marvel, number 14. This is the very first appearance of Kamala Khan. Now, I'm going to try to show you the ticks, and I don't know if you're going to pick it up because there's the glare right there. And you can't really see it. It's right above the staple on the top. But my thing is, if you can't see it here this close up, then, precedent is going to be easy. And this is going to be on a down market after a correction. Dude, this could be after the Marvels movie coming out. They're going to bring Ms. Marvel back. You know that. They killed her off in a dumb way just to get rid of her, because they're going to retcon her powers and do all that based off the MCU. She's coming back, people. And when she does, what's it going to be then? What if we got another market spike? If it's $200 book in some places now, what could it be a year from now, 2 years from now, if they bring her back and she's a popular character again? How could you not buy the book for $60? What? All the people on Facebook, shut up. Man, I'm so happy I got this. $60. Very, very cool. I'm glad that I got it. Now, there are 2 other comic books in the bag with it, but they were just filler books. All right, people. Just wanted to get that story off my chest, though. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm curious what you think. Just wanted to get that story off my chest and share my excitement of getting the book. Follow me for more comic book related content. It's always comic book centric. That's what I got going on.